Women's Madison is underway. First neutral lap before they will get the starter's pistol to get them going. Total distance of the Women's Madison, 30 kilometres, which is 120 laps. Sprint every 10, 5, 3, 2 and 1 points. Double points on the final sprint, 10, 6, 4 and 2. 20 points if you take a lap. The Brits, it's a different combination compared to the World Championships, but Eleanor Barker, current World Champion, is out there. She's the rider on the front right now, about to change with Katie Archibald. Georgia Baker from Australia in second position. Here's the first intermediate sprint, 12 of them in total, every 10 laps, and it's Katie Archibald that leads into the lap for the points the first time. Alex Manley from Australia in second position. She's too far behind to pick up that gap. So Katie Archibald, Great Britain, will pick up the first 5 points for winning that first sprint ahead of Australia, New Zealand, and then Ireland in fourth place. They'll get 1 point. They'll be coming around for the next of the intermediate sprints. That's USA that will lead into this next sprint at 91 laps to go. Australia making a really late change, and that gives the opportunity for the second team from Britain, Team Inspired, to come over the top. And Alex Manley, nowhere to go to try and get up around the outside to pick up the maximum points. So USA get 5. The second GB team, Team Inspired, will get 3. Australia, 2 points. Belgium, fourth place, 1 point for them.
Second at the moment overall is the United States. They're on 7 points. Italy and Australia are tied in third on 5 points. Team Inspired are on the board with 3 points. New Zealand have 2. Ireland, Switzerland and Belgium have 1.
Bell will sound once more when they come around, and Archibald about to make the change down the back straight to Eleanor Barker. Italy at the same time, but not as good a change, I must say. Much better performance there from Team GB. Look at the gap that they've opened up. That was all in the technique of the change. So much better from Team GB as they fly down the back straight. They'll pick up the 5 points here. Italy will just get rolled, I think, when they come down to try and get second. So third for them as Nia Evans with Team Inspired comes flying through to pick up second place.
Great Britain at the top of the table on 13 points.
Georgia Baker from Australia leads at 72 laps to go. She's looking for Alex Manley, trying to get their timing right for this next sprint. Been coming on the back foot a little bit. Both British teams and the Americans looking really strong so far. So Baker still on the front, trying to find her partner Alex Manley as they come to 71 laps to go, and the bell rings. And it's Team Inspired that goes straight over the top. She's had to wait too long, Baker, to get to Alex Manley. New Zealand comes over as well, so it's Team Inspired, USA. Then it's the Kiwis in the black colours trying to come up over the top to pick up the maximum points, and they get there. Fantastic sprint from New Zealand to pick up the 5, and perhaps some willingness to go on with it. Look over the shoulder to see what damage has been caused, and there are gaps all through the field now. Switzerland lead at 62 laps to go. GB are about to change that though, because they've changed and they're about to go straight round the outside. It's Eleanor Barker that leads down the back straight. Switzerland trying to go with them, but it's not going to be possible. Alex Manley from Australia now, she goes into second. 61 laps to go and another intermediate sprint. They come so fast between these every 10 laps, and it's going to be an easy one this time for GB. Australia fighting to try and finish second. They should be able to. Can Italy hold on for third? That's a question as Belgium is coming towards the back of them. And Italy will get third. Belgium fourth. Australia second, with GB getting another sprint win and extending their overall lead. It's 52 laps to go. Bell next time around. Team Inspired lead their way through ahead of USA. And then there they are, Team Inspired. Green colours really picking up the pace. So the sprint is on now. They'll come around to get the next bell. 51 laps remain. Team Inspired lead their way through. Then it's USA. Team GB up over the top. So Great Britain looking really strong. 3 wide down into the back straight. Here comes New Zealand. Drummond doing really well. And let's get ourselves out of that situation. That was tight underneath the change of Great Britain. And Eleanor Barker off the sling with the extra speed comes through to get the win. 42 laps to go now. Eleanor Barker for Great Britain comes to the front once again. And it's Australia in second position. They start looking for their partners around the track. They'll hear the bell when they come around again this time. Alex Manley changes to Georgia Baker. So it's Great Britain, then it's Australia, Switzerland looking, ducking, diving and weaving, trying to find each other so they can make their hand change as they go down the back straight. And Katie Archibald now comes in. Great Britain looking really strong here tonight. They are absolutely dominating in the overall point standings. And Great Britain pick up the 5. 3 points go to Australia, 2 points go to Switzerland. They've been handy as well, the Swiss. Minor points, but they've been at the front quite a bit, showing a really good performance. Sophie Lewis it is from Team Inspired that leads through. USA in second place. Then it's Ireland. They figured in some points very early on as well, trying to pick up some more now as they come around to get 30 laps to go. And Sophie Lewis will pick up the 5 points. USA second, Ireland third, and then Checha in fourth place. That's the first points that they've been able to collect. Belgium lost the line in fifth, no points for them. Double points on that final sprint, 10, 6, 4 and 2. The penultimate sprint now, 11 laps to go, and it's Team Inspired that will lead into this lap. USA in second position. Late change again from Australia. Switzerland might pop up over the top. Alex Manley will fight back. Switzerland do get the better of Australia. They both look to try and go past Team Inspired. Meanwhile, out in front, Team USA pick up the 5 points. They were in third place. They now go into second, just ahead of Australia. So this is going to go right down to the final sprint. Switzerland up there again. The
United States on 19 points, Australia on 17, Team Inspired on 15. The leaders very clearly Great Britain.
Great Britain now will come away with the gold medal. That is clear. Who is going to get silver and bronze? That's the big question now as they come around and get the final bell of the Women's Madison. It's Team Inspired that hit out first. The green colours, Nia Evans. She's crashed tonight. She's regained the track and she's flying on this final lap. USA in second place. Then it's Australia, Belgium, New Zealand trying to come past as well. But here come the Aussies. Georgia Baker up around the outside. If she can get to the line first, she'll get second. That's a fantastic result for Australia. Picks up the 10 points, the double points on offer in the final sprint. And it was all the teams that needed to get that win, all racing each other in the end. But Australia with the 10 points, that should be enough to put them into second place. As I said, the final sprint, everything can change, and that's what happened. Australia come away with the silver medal behind Great Britain.
And the United States will finish with the bronze on 23.
And we roll off the fence once more for the men's Madison. 50 kilometres at the start of the competition. The second sprint now. Viviani in second position. It's Ollie Wood that leads into this sprint down the back straight now. Viviani squeezes up around the outside. Nice and composed for the former Olympic Omnium champion. As Viviani picks up the 5, Great Britain 3, Germany, the European champions, in third place with 2, and Belgium up there in fourth place, 162. Another lap to get around to the bell. But everyone really fighting hard to get into the right position. But it will be Bridgestone that lead into the sprint lap first. New Zealand with a change. They'll come through in second. Then it's GB. And underneath Australia, really dangerous move there from Ollie Bledden as they make the change down the back straight. But up front, New Zealand fighting against Bridgestone as they come around the final bend, and New Zealand will get the 5 points ahead of Bridgestone. Italy will get the 3 points. Great Britain 1 point for fourth. And there was a couple of really dicey situations in that particular sprint, and you can see the extra speed has now started to stretch the peloton. The sprint coming up next time around. Teo Reinhardt leads the way. Agnoletto from Australia in second position. Then it's Campbell Stewart about to make the change to Aaron Gate for New Zealand. And Poland about to make the change right behind them. Bell lap this time, and it's Roger Kluger from Germany comes through. Big move, though, coming from New Zealand. The Australians have changed a little bit late to try and maximise their advantage of being towards the front, because Germany versus New Zealand coming into the sprint. It'll be 140 laps to go, and the big, powerful man, Roger Kluger from Germany, the European champ, picks up the 5 points. So that takes them up to 10 points and the outright lead, but by only 1 point ahead of Great Britain and New Zealand. Germany and New Zealand have opened up a significant gap of the rest of the field. Austria trying to come across. That's Roger Kluger onto the back wheel of Aaron Gate. And the Kiwis have done some damage here tonight. Into the next sprint, New Zealand lead, Germany second, Austria third, and further back is Portugal and Team Bridgestone. And there's no contest out in front. It's New Zealand that will pick up the 5 points. So they will go to the outright lead now, just ahead of Germany.
Well, that was Felix Ritzinger from Austria who took the 3rd points there. The pairing of Ritzinger and Schmidbauer, we haven't spoken of them yet. This is the first time they're finding themselves on the board.
Desperate moments here in the men's Madison as New Zealand and Germany come through for the next sprint. 121 laps to go, and New Zealand up round the outside. So Germany, as they're getting back towards the stragglers, the back end of the peloton, very high into the finishing straight here, and New Zealand will pick up the 5 points. That was significant. Germany, in the traffic, missed the change. So they have really been found out there, the Germans, just as they got to the back of the peloton. There was too much traffic, really dangerous. 19 points. They lead the way with Germany on 14.
And the peloton have all but given up, and they will take the lap now. So that is now the front of the race. 20 points for the 5 teams of New Zealand, Germany, Team Bridgestone, Portugal and Austria. And coming in for the bell, the Germans, they are determined to keep getting points despite their position on the chart.
Tailing from Great Britain up onto the outside there of Roger Kluger, and Great Britain will be able to get the points here. Kluger was in fairly early for that sprint, so no, not too difficult there for Tailing to pick up the 5 points. And it's Portugal. They took a lap on the field, so they're right up in the hunt. They sit in 5th overall, but it is again New Zealand that come down the back straight, and the gap has opened up to the 3rd team leading the peloton. So can New Zealand, after picking up the 5 points here, go on with it? 71 laps to go. Next sprint, and it's Hashimoto that leads through. There's the 2nd team of Japan that has just gone past. Peloton now, you hear the bell in the background. That was the New Zealand team that led across the line. So Hashimoto picks up the 5 points for Bridgestone.
A lot of red and white in the skin suits here. New Zealand came across the line next for the 3rd points. Italy took the 4th point.
Another lap, and the next of the sprints is about to happen. So Kluger, the European champion for Germany, comes through. Japan in 2nd. And then it's Portugal with a bit of speed coming up to the back of Germany. There's the Aussies. They're a little bit further behind, but around the final bend, Germany fighting off Portugal, but they can't do it. So Portugal pick up 5 points. They're sitting in 5th place overall, remember. The last of the lowest placed of the teams that gained a lap on the field. Up in front, New Zealand and Germany. As New Zealand have gone on the attack. The next sprint coming up, and they've got a nice handy 5 bike length lead over Germany as they go into this sprint lap. Roger Kluger down the back straight into the slipstream of Aaron Gate. Can he close it down? Yes, he can. Now he has to get up round the outside, and they will pick up the 5 points. So Germany are not out of this one, that is for sure. Next sprint, 31 laps to go.
Even if they don't take the lap, for Great Britain to continue accruing points, they can still get themselves onto the podium. So they're doing a really great job here of solidifying their effort.
Ollie Wood picks up the 5 points. That's very handy to have in the pocket.
Well, that now catapults Great Britain to 5th on the table, ahead of Austria, who did take a lap.
So the lap is about to be taken now. 3 teams about to come onto the back of the peloton, and that'll be 20 points for each of these teams. This changes everything in the race for the podium. Great Britain will go right up into 3rd place overall. Japan will also be right there as well. So they go to 4th position. 49 points for Great Britain. Italy coming around. It's Elia Viviani that will get the bell first. Japan, Australia, Team Bridgestone, Checha underneath as well, and here comes New Zealand up and around the outside, and they all seem to be hesitating into that sprint lap, and New Zealand said, well, I'll take the 5 points, don't worry about that. So Aaron Campbell-Stewart that pops over the top, picks up the 5 points. Great Britain are trying to chase down the Germans, and it has splintered the peloton as Portugal come through for the penultimate sprint lap. And Portugal lead down the back straight, New Zealand sitting in 2nd position. Another 5 points on offer, and the New Zealanders up round the outside. So they'll gain the 5 points with only one more sprint to come. So they are looking very good for the overall standings now. But Germany will get the 2 points on offer for 3rd. The sprint is on out in front for the remnants of the peloton to pick up the minor points that are still on offer.
Well, Portugal may win the sprint, but they can't win the race. That will go to New Zealand.
As they come through now with 1 lap to go, it is Portugal that's going to lead the way into this final sprint, and they have given it to them. So Portugal get the final points on offer, 10 points to them. New Zealand, they pick up 6 points for second. Switzerland come across the line to get 4 points in third place, with Great Britain picking up the final points. They pick up 2 in fourth place. But it all went the way of New Zealand. What an incredible and dominant performance it was from Campbell Stewart and Aaron Gate.